Those effing C words. Change and confidence, child. 2 words that are so scary they may as well be curse words. Let's talk about it. On this podcast, we'll share our stories about hardship and starting over, making professional pivots, ending relationships and friendships, and having the confidence to navigate change. These are real stories and real people from my one-on-one coaching sessions and interviews that will keep us inspired or remind us that things could be worse. So what you hear are the truths, traumas, and testimonies that push us to become the solution instead of just waiting for one. I'm Marcia Cork, the Change Coach, and this is Ooh, Those Effing C Words. Angela Mosley, Miss TJ Sauce, welcome back. So excited to have you on a full episode now. You brought all of the sauce and all of the energy and the little snippets that we did back on episode 17. So I know people will be excited to hear you for a full show. So welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Very good. Very good. So let's start by explaining that name. So people probably refer to you as Miss TJ Sauce and Angela. So tell me a little bit about the name and where that comes from.
Well, Miss TJ Sauce is named after my sons, Tyson and Jaden. They are my why. Mm-hmm. So when I was trying to come up a name for the business, I reached out to my mom. I was like, I'm stuck. It's for the boys, but it's for their legacy. But I need to know how I should incorporate it. And she said, do it by their names. And I was like, oh, youngest to the oldest. Tyson is the youngest, Jaden's the oldest, so I'm going to be Miss TJ.
Okay.
That's how it came about.
Miss TJ Sauce. All right. And I would like to have you introduce yourself. So I was telling you before, I do try to put people on the spot in this way, but that's what it's about. It's about building confidence, representing your brand. So my listeners get to hear a variety of ways that people introduce themselves. And even better if they introduce themselves off the cuff, off the top of their head. So Ideally, I like people to have a formal elevator pitch, but I do like to hear the ways that people introduce themselves when they're put on the spot. So, Miss TJ Sauce, please introduce yourself to my listeners.
Well, welcome. I am Angela Mosley, CEO and founder of Miss TJ Sauce, LLC. Named after my sons, Tyson and Jaden, and they are my why.
Okay. And you mentioned last time that you were a poet, and I did not know that. So you are pretty comfortable speaking to audiences, big and small, I'd imagine. Because I know you do pop-ups, trunk shows, all the things, and you've been in business, you said, for 7 years?
Next month, oh my goodness, it's September.
Yes.
7 years. Woo, woo.
Oh, wow. Is this the anniversary?
Oh, my goodness. Yes, it is. Won't he do it?
Look at that.
Look at that. Oh, perfect show. Perfect show. Perfect.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you so much.
Well, that's
Journey Sugar.
You are funny.
Woo.
Okay. Well, look, I've lost track now. Let me let's get back on track. Oh, I'm excited about that. Congratulations. This is going to be even more exciting for the listeners to be a part of this. So your entrepreneurship story, you've told me your why. I think I've mentioned to you before that I have this It's Me approach that I walk people through when they are struggling with developing their elevator pitch or their brand story. Okay. It's my model for helping them do that, for helping them, like I said, come up with an elevator pitch, a solid way to introduce themselves, their work, their business, but then also expand that into a brand story and ultimately into a pitch deck. Okay. So you were saying you didn't have anything structured. I know you're comfortable speaking off the cuff, but I'm going to kind of format this interview in a way that's in line with the It's Me approach. So I have people start with the introduction, which we've kind of already done. Yes. But then tell me a little bit about your truth. Give me some insight into your past, into a testimony, something that brought you to the work that you do today, something that brought you to developing that sauce. Tell us your entrepreneurship story.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I think my truth comes from my children kept eating chicken nuggets. And I decided I needed to have them try a variety of foods.
Okay.
So I made some salmon cakes. We call them salmon croquettes. Some people call them salmon cakes.
Okay.
I made some miniature ones, but they came out kind of dry.
Okay.
So I started mixing this sauce. You know, that sauce that we have with our crab sauce. I started doing a little different.
Okay.
Well, my children at the end was like, "Oh, that chicken show was good, Mama." I said, "Oh, I think I got something here."
Okay.
So fast forward, I had a potluck. I used to work for the Census Bureau.
Okay.
And I took the salmon croquettes and the sauce to the potluck.
Okay.
Unbeknownst to me, they were eating it with everything, including my sauce. And that's when I had an epiphany. Wait, I'm about to go out on leave, medical leave. I think I'm going to open my business.
Okay.
I don't know about it, but I think this sauce got something, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So that's where my truth came was I went to my cube and I asked the young lady to design me a logo. Sheree, could you design me a logo?
Mm-hmm.
And Miss TJ Sauce 2015, September 2015, got into business. I had no clue what the sauce business was. I just knew that I saw people eating it with everything. So I came up with a tagline. It gives a bang to everything.
Gives a bang to everything. Okay. All right. So it all started with that potluck. So were you already, mixing and creating and coming up with variations of the sauce before serving it to your children, or was it just you threw some things together that night?
I just threw some things
like it.
I just threw some things together that night. But what I did find out through the family, apparently my grandmother used to make a sauce like mine.
Ah, okay.
So everybody kept saying, that looked like Jean sauce. Every time we would have crabs, she would make that sauce. So I don't know if my grandmother came to me in a dream. But thank you.
Okay.
Because I just started mixing. And when I started mixing and tasting, I started having people try it, right? Mm-hmm. And they was like, "Ooh, can you make it hotter? Ooh, it's sweet." So my first sauce the flavor was Miss Sweet and Sassy.
Okay.
I decided to do a vendor show. I did a market. And I couldn't believe how well I did. I did so well. I started off in mason jars. Okay. Mason jars. And they were loving it. I did a vegan. I had so many different versions, but people kept saying, "Do you got a vegan one? Can I get it hotter?" Mm-hmm. And I just started, it was the consumer who pushed me to be bigger.
Yeah. They're asking for lots more variations and flavors. And
absolutely.
Okay. Is this all still 2015?
This is all 2015.
Okay. So you have you attend the potluck, you bring your salmon cakes and your sauce. You get a good reaction from the attendees at the potluck. Mm-hmm. And then from there you start experimenting with the different flavors, or is it not is it at this point that you still have the sweet and sassy?
Right. So now I'm creating Miss Kickin'.
Okay.
But I got a telephone call from someone in the radio station. And his name is Mark Clark. We all know him as Allison Seymour's husband. But I followed him on I used to be on this platform called Periscope. And Periscope, I just, I started following Mark, but Mark had an idea that he wanted to do a QVC, an African American QVC,
Mm-hmm.
He reached out to me about my sauce.
How did he hear about your sauce?
I was on his show, like typing in my phone, "Hey, I got this sauce. I would love for you to try it." I'm putting my stuff in the comments, and he's, talking over the radio. And he said, "Hey, who's this sauce lady talking?" And he said, "Email me." I was
Okay, wait. All right. So you call into the radio show?
No. So yeah, you can call in, but but Periscope was different.
Oh, okay. That's right. You did say Periscope.
Periscope, he was, you could see him on the radio.
Yes.
But your comments, you talk to him through the comments.
Yes. Got it.
Right?
Okay.
And so that's how that worked. And he said, "Miss TJ, take my email down." Matter of fact, he gave me his phone number live that day. And I reached out to him.
Okay.
And he got back in touch with me. He said, "Hey, I'm Mark Clark, and I was thinking about, could you supply me 500 bottles of sauce?"
Wow. That was your first?
That was, yeah. I was like, oh my God. I didn't want to miss this opportunity, but I had to be honest with myself.
Yeah.
This is new. I'm new to the game. I'm a new entrepreneur. I'm going to have to decline. It's no way that I'm going to be able to do this. He said, "Okay, all right." But the story gets so much better.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Fast forwarding. Allison and Mark have their own show at the time called Allison and Mark Afternoon Show on WHUR.
Okay. And when is this? Are we still in 2015?
This is in 20. This is probably in 20. I guess we need to backtrack because a lot transpired prior to me even getting there.
Yeah, and we want to hear all of that.
Well, all of that was prior to 2015 through 2017 and 2018. I did vending shows. Okay. I did pop-ups. You could come to my vending shows, and not only would you get sauce, but you would get the sauce. You get some spoken word at the same time.
Okay.
People enjoy the fact, like, what you mean moving on? And I loved what I did. I mean, just seeing people enjoy my food, but what I did to catch their attention, I asked them if they would let me videotape them.
Okay.
I wanted to get their reaction
to the sauce.
Okay. That is how I made my name socially on Facebook and the social platform. People kept saying, "What's the sauce?
Mm-hmm.
Who is this lady?" Because every time you would turn around, I was with my phone. Let me see.
Yeah. Okay.
And 2017, I got a break. Jiffy's Sub Shop in Andrews Air Force Base.
Okay.
I went in there one day and asked if I could. I said, "You know what? You know what really would make y'all subs taste really good? I got this sauce." And the older gentleman, he owned it. He said, "Really?" I said, "I do." And I said, "I would love to come in." And he said, "You know what? I'm going to give you a chance." I said, "Really?" I didn't get it tested at all, for shelf life, but I make it locally. And he said, "I'm going to take a chance on you." And he did. He did. And he was my first customer that wrote me a check that says Miss TJ Sauce.
Wow.
From Jiffy Sub Shop. I still have that check. I sure do.
Well, you have the copy.
The copy of the check there, because that check gone. But I do have that copy, honey.
I love it. I love it.
Yes.
Okay. So this is 2017, you said.
Yes.
All right. Meanwhile, you're continuing to do this. And I love that it's so grassroots. I love that you are physically, taking this product around to different shops and
oh my
pitching,
goodness, honey, I carried a cooler around. You hear me? I had little samples, little trays, and I would have. You want to try it? It didn't matter, right? I was, like I said, I was so hungry.
Yeah.
To get to the next level, but I was hungry because of my children, right? They are my why, and I just wanted them, and they started to see my hustle.
Mm-hmm.
But I was hustling on top of having a full-time job, right? So it was real. And then it got to the point, I wanted to work for my own self, right? I started feeling like, I don't want to listen to you. I'm a boss. I'm Miss TJ Sauce. We boss. And then I started doing my events and started working on my stuff while I was at work. I said, "Oh, I'm about to get in trouble." When you start seeing how it was intertwining to what was full time, and was part time, I had to make a decision, right? Yeah. It's very hard because the family did not understand this decision that I was making. Mm-hmm. How are you going to leave a $65,000 job? You got kids. Like, what's going on with you? I just wanted to jump. Steve Harvey said jump, right? I wanted to do that. And I didn't think about the repercussions of it. Maybe I should at the time. But as a business owner, that's what you do. You take risk. Yeah. You take risk, and you win some, you lose some. But what you most important do, if you love it and you got a passion, you get back up and you shake your shoulders off and do it differently. Yeah. Right. So I say that to say that here comes the part where the stress comes in.
Yes. Talk about it. Because that's one of the questions that I ask about financial challenges, being comfortable taking that risk, the amount of money that you have to put into the business to get it going. Meanwhile, you're talking about leaving your full-time job, which probably to this point is what's financing this.
Right.
So, yes, talk about it.
Yeah. So I was using the rent money to fund the business. And what I saw was these events that I thought I was going to make so much money. Mm-hmm. I didn't. I spent more money out than what I was bringing in. Mm-hmm. Okay. And what I started to see was a pattern of getting further deeper in the hole. I didn't see how I was going to get out of it.
So did you do any type of projection?
No projection.
Okay. Because we talked about that briefly in the background conversation, just so the listeners are aware. These are all the side conversations that Miss TJ, that Angela and I had as I was putting together my episode 16, my quick launch guide, where I break down the steps, the basic steps that entrepreneurs can take to get this concept out of their head and into business, the basic steps. And so some of the things that I talk about in that quick launch guide are, like I said, the It's Me approach, using that It's Me approach to develop your pitch deck, and then doing a simple but in-depth pitch deck, which includes some projections, some 1 to 3 year projections, getting some financials in place so that you're ready to talk to an accountant, for a formal business structure, but then also to just help you make those projections if you have at least a good understanding of what your first year or your first 1 to 3 years might look like. So no projections, no planning, no sitting still and saying, this is how much I spend on to produce this amount, and how much I might make at this event based on the number of attendees.
I started to see how much was I spending on sauce? How much was I spending on marketing material, business cards, website development, advertising? I did sit down and start putting things in black and white. And that's when I realized I need some help.
Okay. Now, this is after the fact, though. This isn't before leaving your job. This is when you start to kind of feel that things are a tight squeeze.
Yes, tight squeeze.
Okay.
I still wanted to leave the job though.
Okay.
Right, because I just didn't have a passion for it anymore, and I thought that I could drive Lyft, I could do Uber, and I can do the sauce at the same time. I had flexibility, right?
Okay.
It still gave me the flexibility to push and grind and hustle. The numbers wasn't adding up.
The math's not mathing.
It wasn't mathing at all. But I started to get so stressed out. 2019, I had a stroke.
Did you?
I had it's something called a TIA. It's called a transit ischemic attack. My blood pressure was 118 over 180.
My goodness.
It was so scary. And I was by myself.
Oh my gosh.
But no, I wasn't by myself. I was with my children. Because when I took the opportunity to jump, I said we were going to move and we were going to temporarily stay in a hotel for a minute.
Okay. Until
I relocated, right?
Okay.
And they wasn't here. My kids wasn't here. They was in summer. They was with my parents for the summer. So I was going through this alone. I can't even, you know what? No. Was it the first? No, it wasn't. They were with me because I had it in the hotel. That's how they were with me. I was going to take them to school. Mm-hmm. And I was walking out the hotel, and all of a sudden, I could not move my leg.
Oh my gosh.
And I started to drag my leg. And I got discombobulated. I was feeling very lethargic. And I had the kids. I said, I got to take the kids to school. They were in there eating. And, but I was feeling really, really weird. Really weird. And I told the hotel staff, call the ambulance.
Oh my gosh.
And because I was literally hugging the pole, whatever concrete pole that was outside of the hotel.
Okay. The column outside?
Yes, the column outside. Thank you. And this lady was like, are you okay? I said, I need to get my kids to school and they got to go to school. And she said, I'll take them. I didn't know this lady from a can of paint. Mm-hmm. I just thank that angel because I let her take my kids to school.
Oh my gosh.
And I went to the hospital. They ran every type of CAT scan, and I had a stroke and I had to stay in the hospital.
Wow.
That right there was, and I didn't have any family here.
Okay.
My parents
relocated.
Yes, my parents relocated to North Carolina at the time, and I was there by myself, and it was like, what am I going to do, right? I had to get the kids somewhere. I had to get somebody to get the kids to take them. So it was so many things of trying to move, so many moving parts. Mm-hmm. But I overcame. I had to learn how my speech slurred.
And you're still living in a hotel at this point?
Mm-hmm. My face, my speech slurred. My face didn't droop or anything.
Okay.
I had money that I was living off of that I was using.
Okay.
And I just, to say living beyond my means, yes. Mm-hmm. Because I didn't want to go live with nobody else.
Okay.
My rules. So my rules, I did what I wanted to do, you know. Had a full kitchen, cook, everything. Kids had separate rooms. I mean, it was like 2-bedroom apartment. We just had service, you know. We got maid service. But it was tough. It really was tough. And the kids went through a lot during that time.
Yeah,
especially my oldest. He was very resentful of me. You know, of his dad, and you know, blurting out, talking about me, and then all of a sudden, my son was like, "You shouldn't have left your job, and then we wouldn't be in this situation." You know, and you know, it was a hurtful situation. But kids don't understand the risk that you take.
Now, this is real talk right here, because talking to entrepreneurs, you know, I don't get the opportunity to talk to their families. And so you're giving us a glimpse into something we don't often think about, and that's how your decision impacts your family, how it impacts the people around you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it did. It affected them a lot. And I felt like I had to do a lot of making up, but at the same time, you'll understand why, you know. Mommy is doing this for a reason. And I just kept pushing. I got my car repossessed. I went into a dive of depression.
Okay.
It was so bad that I took a step back from the business.
Okay.
Right.
So this is 2019, you said. So you take a step back in 2019.
Yep.
Okay.
And I took a step back. I think it was maybe a year or two.
Okay.
But I kept getting reminded by this lady. Her name is Ivanette.
Okay.
She has a boutique. And every time I would see her, sis, when you gonna do the sauce? Ivanette, I ain't doing the sauce no more. But sis, girl, everybody want that sauce. You got that sauce. Come on now. You just let's get it together. I said, no, I'm not doing it. She kept, and she kept reminding me, get back up. And every time I would see her at event, I swear I'd be like this. Oh, damn. Because I know she's going to ask me about this daggone sauce. But what did it? I was in the store. I was in Sam's, and I heard somebody say, Miss TJ. Girl, what that sauce at? I literally tried to act like I didn't hear them. And then they came around to the other. I know you heard me, girl. I started with you, and I need to get, when you gonna make that sauce again? And that it just, they were looking for me. They really miss me. So fast forward, what I do? Reinvent Miss TJ Sauce.
Miss TJ is back in business. Okay.
And I created a hashtag called What's the Sauce?
Okay. So
every time I send something out, I said, what's the sauce? And everybody was like, yo, what's the sauce? I was like, I'm back. By popular demand. Let's do it.
All right. So give me a little bit of background there. So this customer, this person that ran into you at Sam's Club, this is someone, because now you're in North Carolina?
No, I'm in Maryland. This
is still in Maryland. Okay. So you are doing your pop-up events. So these are regular customers, but these are customers from all of your trunk shows and pop-up events. Are you physically in any stores at this point? Or is this are you at Jiffy's? And tell me all the places where you.
Yes, I'm at Jiffy's.
Okay.
Subs.
And so was that on hiatus then? You weren't selling, making the product anymore?
Well, Jiffy's.
Supplying it to Jiffy's?
No, the sons of Jiffy's decided that, and the father got sick. He the one that made the deal. So the sons was like, until you get licensed or until you get piece of paper saying that it's been tested, we can't have you. We can't have you here. So I said, okay. So Miller's Farm was the next place.
Okay.
Piscataway Road.
Mm-hmm.
They let me have a pop-up there. I did the daggone thing. You know why? Because one of my customers made a macaroni and tuna salad. He kept Klein. He kept calling, girl, I need that sauce. I said, Klein, you just bought some sauce last week. What are you doing? He said, I made some macaroni and tuna salad with your sauce, and they tore it up. I said, what? Let me try it next time. I couldn't believe how my sauce made that macaroni and tuna salad taste really good. Fast forward, I made it for the Miller's Farm event.
Okay.
I had a huge bowl of it, and I had cutesy little forks and cups.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, girl, we was like this. I want some of that right there. I said, okay, well, here's the sample. No, I want to purchase it. We were in the place, my assistant and I, trying to find cups. I didn't even know how to pay to charge people. I didn't know what to charge them. I just tested the market.
Mm-hmm.
They tore it up. They didn't care. They wanted to buy it. So now I make macaroni and tuna salad, seafood salad.
Okay.
I sell it now. Only difference I'm not doing, and that's the next step, is doing it, freezing it and shipping it, because people are asking for it. They are.
Okay. So so we've done a lot of fast forwarding. So let's go ahead and, so where you are now, so you just given us a little insight to all of the different, to the brand expansion. So tell us all of the different flavors, foods, everything that Miss TJ offers now.
Well, she has Miss TJ Vegan, Miss Sweet and Sassy, Miss Kickin'. She will be coming out this month with Miss Kick the Sass. That's a combination of Miss Kickin' and Miss Sweet and Sassy together. Okay. And she has a brown sugar mama vinaigrette as well.
My goodness.
Yeah. And then, my son said, we need a pepper sauce. So Miss Cajun Persuasion is on the next high end.
I love the names.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have to say, customers have given me those names.
Okay.
Right?
You do cute little contests, naming contests, or anything like that?
No. So let me tell you, Miss Kickin'. Miss Kickin' and Miss Sweet and Sassy is from me, but Miss Kick the Sass, that was from one of my Lyft passengers in my car. Oh. She ordered sauce. Like, I literally hustle my business while I'm driving. I kid you not. They get in the car. I have cards sitting in the pocket in the back seat. Mm-hmm. What's Miss TJ sauce? Oh, let me tell you about it. I have them Google me, and next thing you know, I have people making purchases while they're in the car. They placing an order.
Talk about that. Talk about all of the ways that you hustle, because there have been so many. Talk about the parking lot.
Let me tell you something. The parking lot, the sauce and salad drive-by in the DMV, honey, that was the biggest one. That was the biggest one. I literally took my banner and put it on my car and opened the door on one side to the next and tied some string on it, and it had Miss TJ sauce and my website. And I sat and I pulled up in the parking lot of Starbucks. And I advertised, I'm coming to the DMV. You better place your order. People put deposits down. Honey, I felt like P. Diddy selling sauce out the trunk of my car.
And this is all you're promoting on social media?
I promote on social media.
The way that you promote?
I create events. So I'll do an event. Okay. I do a live video. I'm on TikTok, but I didn't even have TikTok at the time. It was just Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
And that's what I would do. I would go live. I would, tell the people. I would create a little flyer, and I will put it on my website. I created infomercials.
Okay.
So while you sleeping, you thinking about Miss TJ. Okay. So at 3:00 in the morning, I wake up in the morning and I'm creating these events, thinking about a different opportunity. How can I get a new customer? And that's what I did.
And you're physically on social media, because I remember you saying that. So you get on to social media at 3:00 in the morning.
I do. And I scout the internet. I scout for brand ambassadors. I see who have great followers. I even look at chefs. So one chef, she was doing a live one day, Chef Natasha Leonard. She is the chef for Baltimore Fox 45. Okay. She was doing something, and I this lady hit the button. She said, "Did you mean to come in this live?" And the lady was like, "No, I didn't." I was like, "There." And then she let me in. And when she let me in, I sold me.
Okay.
I said, "Oh my gosh, chef, I'm so glad you let me in. Guess what?" She said, "What?" "Let me tell you about my sauce." And I told her about the sauce. I said, "You know what? I would love to gift you some sauce." She said, "Really?" I said, "Absolutely." She said, "Okay." She sent me her address after her live.
Wow.
I sent her a t-shirt, a blinged out t-shirt, sent her sauce in a heart box, personalized note. Mm-hmm. Honey, she opened it. She videotaped it. But what she did, she took the sauce to her customers. She's a personalized chef. So she literally cooked the steak and made crab cake and took my sauce and interviewed them. "What do you think about Miss TJ sauce?" And sent it to me and tagged me.
Wow.
It don't get no better than that. Honey.
It does not. It does not. You don't hear very many stories like this.
No, but wait a minute. WHUR was the story now.
Yeah. Okay.
That was the story because Mark and Allison Seymour, husband and wife media team, got this radio station, and they just got on that week. And I called the radio station and I got through. I said, "Oh my gosh, Mark, you know who this is?"
Oh my goodness.
You see how it goes?
Yeah.
Full circle.
Yeah.
He said, "Who's this?" I said, "Remember the lady who had the sauce and you asked me if I had 500? He said, "Yes." I said, "I would love to bring some to the radio station." Boom. He said, "Fam, come on. You welcome anytime."
Wow.
And that Friday, I took a picnic basket, honey, of the sauce, the samples, the salad. And I had my Miss TJ sauce shirt on. And I rolled up in front of the radio station because it's a window outside. I was like, "This." It was like, "Let her in." Oh, it was so awesome. Everybody was in the radio station eating the sauce and trying it. I said, "I want Allison to do it." She was like, "Saucy." You know how I connected with Saucy? It was this gentleman on Twitter. I scouted him out. Okay. He tweets all the news media. Okay? Fox 5.
Okay.
Traffic reporters. So I sent him a message. "Corey, I want to send you some sauce." He said, "Okay." I knew what he was going to do. He added me to the crew, to the Twitter crew. So Allison knew about me through Corey from tweeting all the time.
So explain the Twitter crew.
So Corey, we call him Corey Love. Corey Love be at all the Fox zip trips that they have, right, in the summertime. And he tweets. And when he tweets, he does videos and he's dancing and he's promoting. I mean, he's not promoting, but he's just dancing. He's just him. But his energy is so, the vibe, everybody gets it, right? So Corey is the one who had everybody be like, "Who's this Miss TJ person?" He put me in the feed. So it was at Miss TJ Sauce, at Allison, at Mark. So everybody, Poet from 95 PGC, I got to be a part of that string. So I call it the Twitter crew, right?
Okay.
So when we would go to a Fox 5 zip trip, everybody in that little list would be there.
Wow.
We built a community.
Yeah.
We built in it, and it was just so amazing because I saw an opportunity and I ain't let it go.
Yeah. This is very strategic thinking. I love it.
Well, you know what? Do you know how to play chess, Marcia?
I do not.
Well, that's how I do my business.
Explain.
Well, my dad taught me how to play chess.
Okay.
And you have to strategically know how to move your pawns and move your pieces. So you could be like checkmate. Or you sit back and you look and say,
what are they going to do next?
What are they going to do next? Okay, I'm going to move this rook this way. Because, see, this goes in an L and this bishop goes in a diagonal. See, once you know the pieces and how they move, then that's how you move. And that's what I did for my business. That's how I do when I'm at work. You know, it's the nature of the business.
Yeah.
You know, it helps protect my mind and it helps protect my heart. Right.
Okay.
And that's, for me, that's what I did. And so when I got to WHUR and a radio station and they let me in, I could not believe that Mark pulled out his phone and he started interviewing me about my sauce.
Wow.
Had no clue. No clue. And he tagged me in it.
Okay. And so he's recording and then this airs later on the show, or is this all happening live?
It happens live, but it also happens on Instagram or Facebook.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just been a whirlwind. It has been a whirlwind. It really has.
Yeah.
It really has. Wow.
So what's the timing of this? Because I know that was a fast forward too.
Oh, yes, that was a fast forward. And I guess we're at, what are we at now? 2022? Now I'm relocating, right? I'm relocating. I'm in North Carolina. And now I'm trying to get my feet wet and get my business started here. So I had to start a business here.
Okay. How long have you been in North Carolina? 3
years.
Okay.
Wasn't easy. They don't like transplants, honey. That's what they call it. That's what they call it. You a transplant from another place.
Okay.
So I had to push my social media platform in a whole different level, right?
Okay.
But what I did was I went to Eventbrite and I looked online, once again, social media, and I started, I paid for an event that I went to. It was a bunch of women, a networking event, and I said, hey, I would love to come in, bring some sauce. I bought 32 bags of sauce that day. And that's how I got my name, you know, meeting people. Excuse me. But then it was a gentleman who's a sax player at one of these events, and he asked me if I would open up for him for one of his events. So not only I'm doing sauce, but now I'm a poet. So I'm using my sauce platform, right, on the screen as a sponsor, but then I'm on a stage as a poet.
Okay. So then they recognize the name. Well, you're advertising the sauce as a sponsor.
So I get this.
Actually makes it look like a bigger deal than it is.
Yes, I get a tap on my shoulder.
Okay.
Wow. I saw your name on the screen. I said, well, she's here. Now, mind you, I met her at her event a couple of months back, and she's trying to figure out why my name on that screen. Making moves.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't share with me the information. Okay. But I'm still making moves. The biggest move is I had to get a job in North Carolina. And that job was working for Duke University. While working for Duke University, I had multiple, different positions. The last position I had, I was a program coordinator for the chemistry department. Okay. I managed the seminar program. And because of the seminar program, I had to do the logistics for all the speakers coming in.
Okay.
And the logistics was getting their hotel stay. Well, their hotel stay, they stayed at the AC Hotel Marriott.
Okay.
One day I saw an opportunity. I mean, everything I moved with God. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let me just say that. Mm-hmm. Everything was moving by, do this, do that. So I sent an email. I would love to showcase my sauce one day, and I put my website in there. They came back and said, on March 22, they said, sure, come on in. And I brought this. I went to that hotel with $0 in my pocket. And they were voting. They began to vote. I said, what are y'all doing? They were voting like they was at the American Idol. They were arguing. No, I want to be Simon. No, I want to be Paula. What are you voting on? Come here, Miss TJ. Let me show you. I said, okay. So they took me over to this place called the Marketplace, where they support local businesses. And they told me that they were voting to have my sauce in the Marketplace at the AC Hotel in Durham, North Carolina.
Wow. So you have no idea. You have no idea. So you reach out to these people simply because you have a point of contact based on your relationship, with Duke University, just as an employer.
Yes.
Reach out to them. And then there's more happening beyond this. You're not aware of this marketplace or any of that.
Wow. Nothing. And next thing I know, she gives me a credit card. And she said, we want 2 cases. One for Miss Sweet and Sassy, one for Miss Kicking. The other lady said, I want a pan of seafood salad. They featured my sauce on the menu. So they created a slider and they used Miss Kicking sauce. It doesn't get no better than that.
Yeah.
So I used them as a stepping stone, to build future partnerships. Mm-hmm. And now I have another hotel, in North Carolina. Okay. It's bigger than the hotel in Durham. They have the Willard on top. They have rooftop.
Okay.
And all I did was copy the email with how they loved it at Durham, sent it over to the food and beverage manager in Raleigh and said, I would love to have an introduction for my sauce and build a partnership with you. And in July.
This past July?
Yes.
Okay.
We did it. We did it.
Wow.
And then today, something told me to send it. Yesterday, I was driving and it said, call the National Harbor in Oxon Hill. Call the AC Hotel in Oxon Hill. And I told the lady what I wanted to do. And she said, email. So today, I sent the email. So we're just going to see.
All right.
Because I told them, I said, I am from Washington, D.C. Mm-hmm. And I said, and my clientele will come and will purchase from your hotel. These are all the people that can vouch and have tried it, from Fox 5 to WHUR, you name it. So I said, plus I am about to do a commercial on iHeartRadio, and I would love to be able to use your establishment in that commercial.
Nice.
I don't get no better than that. So we just wait.
Look, that's what I said. I will be waiting. I will be waiting for your update because I would love to be able to update the listeners.
Yes.
Your story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That is awesome. That is awesome. All right. Well, with all this personality, with all of this strategy, let's talk about all of the different ways that you strategize with social media. So now I know you say you're on TikTok. Mm-hmm. You said you make money from TikTok. You want to talk about that a bit?
Well, Yes, well, that is so different because I had no clue. I'm still learning about TikTok. I create my lives. I do my reels. Got an invitation from Facebook to do monetization by my reels. My reels are getting so much play that I could start making money from them. And so I'm really Facebook and Instagram, that's the key in making the money. TikTok is good too because you send gifts to people when they're doing your lives. And those gifts from tend to be like 1,000 coins will equate to maybe $5 cash. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so therefore that all adds up in the end. And I just kind of use it for gas or some coffee or whatever, but it's nothing big. But there are creators on there that are getting $200, $1,000 checks for them. Mm-hmm. But they're on there all the time. They have to be on there all the time. Yeah. I don't have that time like I used to now since I have a new job. I go live and then I promote my business. So I create reels with my food and my sauce, mm-hmm. and it just drives them to the website. I push them, I put the link in it and it drives them to the website.
You put the link in your lives, you pin it on your lives. Okay.
No, I put it in my reels when I do my videos.
I'm sorry.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And so I got really good now. I use CapCut. And so I've gotten really good now with it. So I'm learning because they got some transitions with the hand and all of a sudden be something else. So it's a lot to it, but it's fun.
How does it start? So, as someone who I struggle with social media, even mm-hmm. outside of business, personally, I've never been big on social media. Okay. I don't post much about, friends, family. I know people post when they go out, getting dressed. I know what people do. Mm-hmm. I've never been one to do any of that. Well, so definitely a struggle for someone like me who already isn't on there personally to then know you have to do it to promote your business and your brand.
Well, for me, I think, Marcia, one of the ways that you could probably thrive from it is you speak very well. Excellent coach in gathering information and how you bring people in. And that's what you need to do on that video, right? Yeah. You got to reel us in, your smile, your demeanor. It's reel us in. Yeah. Because the one thing you do, and that's just from your telephone, right? Yeah. You can just be talking about something and you got your phone. But once you take your phone and you upload it and you tag it, the key thing here is hashtags. So key. Because that's the game, is the hashtags. You got your FYP, which is for you page. You got your for you page, your viral, trending, all of that. It get pushed. Like literally, I had a video that I did a remix with Kirk Franklin talking. Mm-hmm. I did not say anything at all. I sat there. I was quiet.
I saw that.
And I cried. Do you know how many times that got liked? 329,000 views.
Wow.
And it got liked 25,000. You know what? It took my followers from 45 to 5,600. Organic followers. That's who you want. Not people that you pay. Yeah. Organic.
Yeah. Okay. You said you went from 45 followers?
No, 4,500.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
No, 45 to 5,600.
Okay.
It's amazing. Like I would turn it on and the thing kept going. Zoom. It was 100. I said, what is going on? My video did better than Kirk Franklin.
Is that luck or is that strategy? how, because you don't know when you choose a Kirk Franklin video that you're
No,
going
no,
to
no.
have that type of success with your posts.
Let me tell you something. I had no clue. This was beyond me. My son said, Mom, you got pushed through the algorithms.
Yeah.
You got pushed through. And he was real. Because I had no clue what I didn't say anything. I wasn't doing that. I was just looking. You saw me. And it just one tear fell. And I was like, I mean, the message to what he was talking about was so true, but it hit home to me.
Yeah.
And
that's what your post says. You needed this today.
Yes, like yes. And I did, but you never know, Marcia, just strategizing your why, right? I tell people this all the time. You got to know what your why is. And if your why is helping people get their pitch together, elevated pitch together, then be the elevated pitch in the video, right? Meaning there's different levels of elevator pitches. You can do variations of that in your reel and sell that to me and sell that to someone that needs help and drive us to your website. I had a chef that he's a reverend. He didn't know how to do the videos that I did. And I just took some of his food that he made, his pictures. I asked him to send me some pictures, put some music behind it, did a video from it. He was like, oh my gosh, I put that up on my Facebook page. Thank you so much. It really helped. It's just stuff like that,
And consistently.
Yes, you got to be consistent because people, they got tired of me. Meaning I was always in your feed. Right? You got to
post. How often do you post?
And I haven't done it lately. Right? I have really slacked off. I used to schedule them, but I used to do like 3 or 4 times a day. That's what you have to do. You have to do 3 or 4 times a day. So now I know to schedule them, and they'll do them by themselves.
So talk about that. So, and realistically speaking,
yes,
if we are talking for my audience and for my client base, that would be 0 to 100.
Really?
Yeah. Because these are people who I am even getting them comfortable with the idea of taking their skill or talent and monetizing it. So for some of these people, it's a skill or talent that they've taken for granted, and they're just getting to the point where they're ready to put it into business, to execute and create a business. So there is a lot of hand-holding that's needed, and also convincing to embrace social media and start marketing themselves and branding themselves. So so that would be 0 to 100.
Yeah. And it's hard because people, it's so many scammers on social media, and people are so leery of even going that route.
Right.
But the one thing that you have to do that's going to help monetize it is you have to be transparent. And a lot of people don't understand transparency when it comes to their business, right? Yeah. You have to do that so people can feel.
Yes.
People need to feel your story. People need to know what you've been through so that they can support where you're going to.
Absolutely. That's the It's Me approach.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So that's the truth. That's your truth, your testimony, your trauma, whatever it is about your past that has now brought you to the point where you're ready to take this leap.
Right.
And then now you're offering a solution. So maybe that business is a solution to your own problem, or maybe in this testimony, in this walk, you've identified how you can be a solution to others. So that's
you already did your video just now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have all this stuff exists.
Right. But putting that together where you have things flashing out, right? Flyouts of pitch, fly out of, trusting and believing in you so that you can get out here and do this socially. You know, you gotta grab me. And how can you grab me is you gotta let me know. What you mean? I can make some money. Oh, new business? Well, what I need to do? I need to just talk. You know, you understand what I'm trying to say? You got a fish. Put them on that reel and reel them in. Because the one thing that we all like is MONEY.
That's for sure. Okay, so back to what we said, 0 to 100 would be posting 3 to 4 times a day.
Yes.
So how many times would you say a person can post and still start to, get some traction, get some visibility?
3 times a day.
You're still saying 3 times a day?
You have to.
Oh my goodness.
You can't, you know why? Early in the morning, lunchtime, in the evening.
Okay, well, we have to find a way to use the same content.
Yeah, right.
And post it 3 times a day, because coming up with 3 different concepts.
Oh, no, but you don't have to have 3 different concepts.
Okay.
You could just put a different background.
Okay.
So
early in the morning and then?
Early in the morning, try twice.
Okay.
Early in the morning, and prime time is around 8 and 9. People finish dinner. Mm-hmm. Now guess what they're doing? They're sitting back and they're grabbing their phone.
Grabbing the scroll. Yeah.
Yep, grabbing the scroll.
So what time is ideal? What would you tell listeners to do early in the morning? About what time?
I would say it's 5 or 6 in the morning. You know why 5, 6? Because when people get up and they pick up their phone, it's 7 and 8.
Yeah.
Okay. And your feed, you're already in the feed. I know.
Yeah.
I had to learn. I had to learn. I don't wake up like I used to anymore, like that. I don't. My mindset now is people like, wait, don't you? I used to want to be in a grocery store. I don't want to be in a grocery store. That means I have to have a warehouse.
Yeah.
And that means it has to sit and sit.
Which means it has to be preserved.
And all that.
Yeah.
With the hotels, I could ship out 2-3 cases, have 10 hotels, 20 hotels. Come on, do the math. That's an extra $12,000 a month. I could take that.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking smarter. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to put myself in a position to apply for grants.
Okay.
Right. Because I want to be able to have a food truck. Yeah. At first I wanted a little cafe, but no, we're going to take a little bistro truck.
Well, that seems fitting considering all the trunk shows and
I got a traveling DJ.
Yeah.
So you sit down, you can get some poetry, get a DJ, get some sauce.
There you go.
And it's going to be small. It's not going to be heavy. To go. Let's go. Right. Your salmon crabs, your fish tacos with the sauce, some salad, some spinach. Let's go.
All right. Mm-hmm. Well, I will definitely be watching and waiting to hear all of the updates.
Yes.
For Miss TJ's Sauce. All right. So tell the people where they can find you. All the places that they can find you on social media, in the DMV when you pop up, and in North Carolina.
Well, I am not going to come to the DMV for quite a while now.
Okay.
I'm going to stick to home and I'm going to push online.
Okay.
Orders hard. But how you can find me is Miss TJ Sauce, www.mstjsauce. That is my website. Instagram, I am at MSTJ with 2 S's, AUCE. Even on Facebook, even on Twitter, you can find me, Miss TJ Sauce, and TikTok. Be careful on TikTok. I'm quite saucy.
I love it. I love it. We know Miss TJ is gonna bring the sauce.
That's I'm gonna bring the sauce. So y'all just do like this. Okay, she kicking it down.
Yeah, it's not just a tagline, people. It's not just a tagline.
It's real. Look, ask her.
All right.